11,500 kwa wewe. Kwa sababu nimeshakutambua kwamba unatoka wapi.
Kutoka
Kweli? Come on. So in here we have 4 places
your
to
name.
visit.
You should tell him.
Well, I will tell you. My name is West. I'm going to be your tour guide. So I will take you 3 places which the history is not written over there. So when you finish with me, I will take you to the exhibition. Over there, the history is written. So first we're going to see the slave chambers where slaves were kept before being taken to the market for the auction. Well, when we go downstairs, please watch your steps and mind your head.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. Hii utahifadhi kumbukumbu yako.
Real good.
Very good. We don't mind our head and step.
Na hapa uchunge kichwa.
Whoa. It's a little dog now, huh?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me. I gotta change.
Kazingwana juu kwa juu, kachenjua. Kwa hiyo niko hivyo. Lakini bado natafuta. Nataka kuzunguka huko. Ndio mwisho wa Arusha. Bye. Sitaki kuwa Morogoro. Well, karibuni sana. You're most welcome to the Anglican Church. So this church was built on the site of the former slave market. Before the church, it was a slave market. In that market, it was open space. That means it was a tree. And that tree was used as a whipping post, where slaves should be tied up and then they're being whipped. After being tortured with a chamber for 2 or 3 days.
Then you taken out?
Yes. So why they whipped? Just to see how strong they are for the finale. So when they whipped, if they crying, means they're weak, the price goes down. If they're not crying, means they're stronger, the prices goes up. So the number of people died before the auction. But in nowadays, we don't have original market remains. We have some part of historical sites, which I'm going to show you.
So
Here
this,
we go.
So this church, before it was not a church.
Before the church, it was a slave market.
Also, this was a slave market.
Yeah, it was a slave market here.
And then
they built the church.
the church.
Yeah.
So where was that tree built? Whereby they could whip people? The tree.
The tree, it was center of the whole altar there. It was there. Yeah. Have a seat here, please, guys.
Oh, this is Anglican, not Catholic. This is Anglican church.
Anglican, yes.
Not Catholic.
Yeah, the Catholic is somewhere in the middle of Stone Town. So this is then the window in the memory for the Dr. David Livingstone and the other explorers. Dr. Livingstone, he was anti-slavery, the one who saved the slaves here in Zanzibar. In 1857, Dr. Livingstone, he made a speech in England about slave trade in East Africa. As a result, missionaries from England, they came to Zanzibar in 1864 to preach Christian gospel and later to build Cathedral. In 1871, Dr. Livingstone, he went to Kigoma at Ujiji. He met with American Walshaborn, his name Henry Moulton Stanley. In 1873, Dr. Livingstone, he went to the Sultan of Zanzibar to pressurize him to stop slave trading. Finally, Sultan of Zanzibar, he agreed to abolishing slave trading because of Industrial Revolution, his mother from Africa. So demanding of slaves, it was low by that time. So they signed a contract. It was on 6 June 1873. Slave trade should be abolished as well. Slave market should be closed. Misfortune, Livingstone, he never seen how the market was closed. He left Zanzibar 2 months before. He went to Zambia. After arriving in Zambia, he died from malaria. But before his death, Livingstone said that when he died in Africa, wherever in Africa, his heart must be buried in Africa. And the body took up to England. His servants took out his heart. They buried it under the tree at Chitambo village. The body, preserved by salt, they dried on the sun for 2 weeks, and then they transport from Zambia to Kigoma via to Bagamoyo. So from Bagamoyo, they took Bedawa to Zanzibar. In Zanzibar, we have a Livingstone house, but his body wasn't stayed there. It was stayed in the British Consular house for 4 days for the last funeral. And then they took by boat up to England. They buried Westminster Abbey. The government of Zambia, they cut one among of the branch of that tree where he died and where his heart was buried. They made a cross, just as a memory for this church, that on there, on the pillar. We called Livingstone cross, made from the wood and where his heart was buried. At the center of the higher altar, it was exactly slave market took place, because it was a tree where slaves, they should be tied up and then they're being whipped. Also, we have the organ, I will show you. The organ, it still works for the church service. Since 1880 until today, they used every Sunday on the service. Yes. So for this means the church is still in use.
Ah, it was still in use.
Yes. And
No, did you say Sultan mother was African?
yeah.
Or is it black like us?
The Sultan is color like you. It's not like him. It's like you. It's African.
Half Arab, half African.
Yes.
Is it the same Sultan Omar, or is it the same person?
You know, actually, Zanzibar was ruled by the 12 sultans. The first sultan shifted the capital from Oman to Zanzibar. So Zanzibar was the empire of the Arabs. So the older sultans are from Oman.
They are from Oman.
Yes.
But they stayed here in Zanzibar.
They stayed in here.
One of the last Sultan.
Who?
Who was the last Sultan?
The last sultan is Said Jamshid. He still lives. He made his life.
Is he alive?
Yeah, he was in England. I think the last year he was a little bit sick. He went to Oman. But all the life since 1964, he used to stay in the UK, Birmingham City. That is the last sultan.
So he was just like us. So the last one left. When did Sultan left after independence?
Yeah, after revolution, yes. 1964. And he was escaping away somewhere we call the Tumekude Secondary School. There were chambers there, like there. But nowadays they use it as a library school, because that is a school nowadays.
Oh, he ran away from
He ran away from there, took a boat to Dar es Salaam to UK.
flight to. Oh, there was no flight there.
Yeah.
What did he run away? He was about to.
Because the people they used to kill, the local people, they killed the Arabs.
No, when they go to
They
our
knocked at
power,
each door, they knocked each door.
they kill
You know,
Arabs.
yeah, that is the people they get the power from. One the guy's name is Ukele, I think, from Uganda, and people from mainland. That is it was a plan of the Julius Kambarage Nyerere organized about this issue to help Zanzibaris people. So the people from there, they came to Zanzibar fighting with the Arabs. They used to kill a lot of Arabs people. So the Sultan, when he had
So
that,
it also became bad as well.
yeah.
They're beating them now. Yeah, we have no question.
Okay, let's go, guys.
Okay.
Jengo lilikuwa Katoliki la kwanza kujengwa. Dirisha hili lilikuwa hili limechelewa kujengwa na limeisha mapema. Labda kanisha. So in top there we have the organ. As I said before, the organ still works for the church service since 1880 until today. Yeah, that one there.
was not
But
trying this price
in
is
East
going up.
Africa, in Central Africa, we have only 2.5 organ like that one. 2.5.
Hiyo ni nini? What is that?
Kinanda.
Ah,
Yale mabomba yale, that's pipes there, that's like a speaker. There were more than 1,000 pipes all of this. It's very, very unique, very sound organ.
when they
So
play
in
their-
Central Africa, we have only 2.5. Before it was only 2, but now we had half one. I will explain why it's half.
So this is
The one is done by this one, another one in Uganda. The half one, is the new one is in Moshi, KKT, Moshi town. They have a small one. They bought for $200,000 US. Yeah.
from where?
I don't know from where, but they have it in Moshi.
So this was built by.
Yeah, this is built by English people. They brought here in 1880, and they bought it for £600 by that time. Only £600. I don't know how much it is nowadays. So here, the place where the whipping post it was. So if you come over here, just come over here. Look, center of the high altar down there. You see the circle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tree was there.
Oh,
The circle. Have you seen?
circle right there
Circle there.
in the ground.
Ah, the small one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
those were the tree.
Yes, the tree was there.
Hapa katikati ya nani Yesu msumara.
Yeah. Pale ni chini yake. Kwa hapa ndio soko la leo watu walikuwa wanataka na hapa na kule walikuwa na meza kwa hiyo wanakwenda pale wanaanza kuacha
Hapo ni tunasimama kwa angalia sasa.
wanaangaliwa baada ya kutoka huko ndio wananadiwa.
The stele is.
Yeah.
And this church
The African people
Hmm?
who used to build the church.
The local people, I mean the slaves were set free, they participated to build the church. But the engineering is from UK. His name Edward is here. He was the bishop. And they buried it behind of that high altar there.
So the building there's also a person body laying there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
So every day they come to church, they step on someone's body.
Yeah.
It's not honor to do something like this. This is expectation. Expectation to the knowledge is what I say, expectations.
Okay.
Not the other. Then it is for the day the next until now. So it's for this actually.
Kupotezewa muda. Ndo kabisa.
Akaenda kwa namda tena wewe.
Hao watu tumeharibiwa mwanzoni pale. Watu walikuwa wanaamini sana Waafrika.
Yes.
Lakini sasa wakishakuwa na mtu wanawatelekeza au wakaona sasa tutakitenda.
Unaona?
Vijana wa Moshi Arusha wanajenga sana huko. Hamna huko kwao kwa Moshi na Arusha. Wanakuja wanakwambia mimi sikutambui, sikutaki tena mama. Hapo sasa lazima uje. Well, this is a monument which designed by the Swedish lady, her name Clara Sornes, just to show us emotionally how slaves are weak and how slaves are tied chain. But the most important things to know here about the chain. The chain is a real one. We called slave chain. It came from Bagamoyo. Bagamoyo is a part of Tanzania mainland in the north of Dar es Salaam, about 70 kilometers. At Bagamoyo, slaves they called in to escaping away. Two things should be happen, to be sold or to be died. And that's why they called it Bagamoyo, means lay down your heart. So you say you've been there.
Yeah.
Where?
To the slaves, right?
Where? The name of place?
In town.
In town.
Yeah.
But I want to know exactly the name of the total region there.
Tell us the name, maybe we might remember.
Bagamoyo, not Bagamoyo. The real name is Bagamoyo, original one.
Oh, okay.
So bwaga means to throw things down.
So they used to been collected everywhere, then they're taken to Bagamoyo. To
Yeah,
Bagamoyo.
I mean, from Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, they passed through Bagamoyo, and then they came to Zanzibar. So Bagamoyo was the center of the slave trade there. But Zanzibar was the biggest slave market in East Africa. So some of slaves, they've been sold in Bagamoyo, some of them, they come to be sold in Zanzibar. But the majority of buyers, they're in Zanzibar.
So they walked, like for example, if I'm coming from Mwanza, from Kenya, whatever, I have to
Yes.
walk all the way
Yes, to Bagamoyo.
Then
They
reach
chained
Bagamoyo.
up like here. It
So
depends the number of people, like 50 or whatever.
They used
So
to
they-
chain on the neck
the
or
neck.
the leg.
The slaves from West Africa on the feet. But from West Africa, they chained to the neck.
How they know which ones go to America?
No, I mean, slaves from here, they used to go for those two countries only, Oman and the United Kingdom. From West Africa, they went direct to USA. They're not coming to East Africa or wherever. Because America is quite far away. But a very few people, they used to go there. Because sometimes they went to UK to buy slaves or wherever. Because come Africa is very long journey. Yeah.
So America used to go and buy their slave from UK.
Yes. So here is the end of our tour in this area for me to explain you. I hope it's interesting but sad story.
Oh, they used to go around chain on their neck.
Yes.
And when
This
we,
guy here, the one who's not chained, this was like a puppet. It was like a trader for that time. The one was used by the traders to come to this was Africans.
Anasemaje kwamba huyo hajafungwa ilikuwa
Them the original chains from
Correct?
them the original chains back in the 1800s.
This one.
But them chains right there.
Yeah, they do.
Damn.
so eti hajafungwa alikuwa nani?
Hawa magaidi hawajui chochote. Unaona kipande cha chini kile pale? Kile kimekatika kutoka kwa yule. Sasa watu wanakwambia yule pale ana cheni na sio alikuwa mnyapara, alikuwa nani? Kwa sababu kipindi naletwa hiyo analeta huyo Clara Sornes alikuwa nani cheni.
So these are our brothers.
This is, I mean, the reality face of the students of Clara Sornes. And I have a lucky I met with this one.
Oh, you
She
know
was
this?
here
He's
almost
African?
1 month ago. She came here to visit purposely to see this monument.
Oh, she lives where?
From Dar es Salaam.
Oh, she's in Dar es Salaam.
Yeah,
She's
these
a
are
black person.
students. Yeah,
Oh,
this is the reality face of the students of that college.
Oh, she's still alive?
She's alive.
You
No,
said she
not
ain't-
the slaves,
Huh?
not the slaves, because the one who designed this monument, she's an artist teacher.
Okay.
So those these pictures here, the
his
students.
his
So
students.
she asked them to stay in the sadness situation. So those are the students, they stay in the sadness. So this one, she came here almost 1 month ago just to see the monument. Is it still there?
And you said she
or
stay
not?
and die?
Yeah, she's in Dar es Salaam.
Oh, I wish I could meet up with her.
No, they're just students.
Huh?
It's
They
not
just know.
really slaves.
It's not slaves, no. They're just students. Someone to explain to you so they can understand.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
just
okay.
like you pick someone from the school and tell
Yeah,
her, okay,
but
stand
like-
here.
yeah.
Let me, that's what they did. So it's nothing special about her.
How long this been since? How long they been built this?
Yeah, just almost a year.
Oh, year.
And then
Okay.
they brought here.
So did they have like, walikuwa na wasaliti?
Kwa saliti. Like,
Kama walikuwa wanasema kwamba kuna wanadanganya kwamba gamba alikuwa anauza wenzao. Walikuwa Waafrika ambao wanauza walikuwa
yeah, ni wale viongozi sana sana na matajiri. Kwa mfano kuna one of the history of Bihole, that is a Nyamwezi lady. She was a really rich woman. If you go like Jozani Forest, the place we go to Bungi, there were a lot of mango trees. So you had, I mean, the museum over there, but it's not working. That means it's just a, you know, the castle we called it. Yeah. So I mean, the people, I think the money they bought them for the slaves trade.
So she used to sell people,
Yeah.
that lady, to the Arabs or to the white.
The wherever Arabs and white people.
Then what are they getting in return?
Huh?
What were they getting in return?
No, they're not getting that.
They're not giving anything, like you sell me for free.
Yeah, because I mean the one, for example, the one who owns slaves, they get the money, but slaves they're not getting anything.
Yeah, that was that lady who was in.
The lady is getting the money,
in
but maybe for the agents, because it has a lot of agents in mainland or wherever. So I say, if you bring me 10 people, you get this amount. groups of people that used to kidnap them. Yeah.
So all this stuff, the original back in the slave days, all the, like the building right here.
No, actually, but that time this building it wasn't here. Just it was on the tree there. The place I show you, it was there. So after abolishing slave trading, they built these churches here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this is the small chapter for the English service, and there for the local people.
Oh, that's nice.
But this church was still built in 1800, right? The church.
Yeah, the church was built in 1873 till 1880, so 7 years later.
When did slavery stop?
Slave trade was stopped in 1873.
1873.
The same year they started to build the church. But it was still illegal until 1907, but not in Stone Town here, outside of Stone Town, almost 26 kilometers north of the Stone Town. The place we call the Mangapwani, not Nungu. Nungu was about 60 kilometers or 50, something. Yeah.
So they used to sell people illegally now.
Yeah, underground. And then they're walking underneath almost 1 kilometer to the beach. And then when they get to the beach, they take it down, they go to Middle East.
So they still kidnap them, put them there.
Yeah.
That's why Oman has a lot of Swahili speakers.
Yeah, they are. And the majority of people, they have relatives in Oman, Dubai. That's why the people they're not hardworking. That is the truth. Because, for example, if you stay in Oman or Dubai, wherever, if you send like 100 rand, they say, rand or what is their money? I don't know. So the money is very valuable than others one. So there's a lot for them.
Dirham. Was the buy?
Yeah, dirham, yeah. So if you send to them 100 dirham, it's a lot of money for them. Like we're talking about 600,000 shillings, you see. So they're not working. They say we're not slaves. We say we're not Watwana. Watwana manager from people from mainland are coming to hard working.
Oh, those are from our house. They're still here. The ones who are still here in Zanzibar.
But the people, they're relative with them, yeah.
So they're like,
Yeah. You know halisia. Well, so now we have done here with me to explain you. If you have enough time, you can go to the exhibition there. You can read it yourself.
You what?
Wanna read it for yourself?
Read what?
Exhibition.
Like the
Yes,
history.
history is written there.
Yes, written there.
Yeah, we can go.
Oh, for him it says down here.
Okay.
And then if you wanna read, walk down there.